What's up YouTube? My name is Uncle Smokey, and this is Uncle Smokey Stock Trades. And before I start this video, I would like to say, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So please take what I say with a grain of salt, and do your own DD. Today we're going to talk about ticker symbol MMAT, Metamaterials Inc. We're going to break down the TA, we're going to look at the options chain, we're going to go through some Ortex and some Fintel. I got some news I'm going to toss in the middle of all of that, and then at the end of the video, we're going to go through my prediction for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and break down the TA. Today we opened up at $5.30. We hit a high of $5.77, basically right out of the gates. We hit a low of $5.11, and then finished out the day at $5.14, shortly after that low of the day. We did finish down 3.75% on the day, and with about 21.75 million in volume, which is pretty freaking amazing. I mean, we doubled yesterday's volume, and we came down 3.75%. It's absolutely insane. And to be honest, we actually were better off than most of the meme stocks out there. I mean, if you were to go through and look at some of these charts, which we can do, here's Root, R-O-O-T. Look at that, down 7.5%. AMC, down 8.5%. GME, down 4%. Actually, a little more. SPRT, down 38%. BBIG, down 17%. So as far as it goes with all of the meme stocks, we are doing better than the vast majority. So I'm not too terribly worried about it. And the other reason why I think that we came down, first and foremost, the entire market was red. I mean, absolutely red. After the CPI data came out, which we're going to cover here in just 1 second, after the CPI data came out, the market basically looked just like this. It all came up. In fact, here, we'll just go over here to the intranet, look at Fintel. See here, this is the entire market. I actually highlighted the full market for you. This is not just the S&P 500. This is the exchanges. And it shows you all of the different companies. And look how red that map is. It is pretty crazy red. If you go over here to the home, it shows you the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow. All of them ended down today. Okay, so it's no surprise that we were down as well. I'm just super happy we weren't as down as most of the meme stocks. That is what makes me happy, showing that there's some stability in the stock as far as it goes with volatility swings. Next thing I wanted to cover was the CPI data. So this came out first thing this morning, 8:30 a.m. sharp, basically stating that it was better than expected. And I did put a Twitter post out there because it is great news. It's great to know that the CPI came out better than they had initially expected. But the one thing you got to remember is it's still bad, okay? Because consumer prices in August rose 5.3% from a year ago. And they rose 0.3% from July this year, so from the previous month. So they still went up, but they didn't go up as much as they had thought. So no matter what, it was still not a great CPI, but it was better than they thought it was going to be. And that's basically why I think, and probably what a lot of people think, the reason why most of the stocks did this today. After a quick run up in the morning on the CPI news, a quick sell-off because that really wasn't that great of news. That's all. All right. Over to the options chain. Got a little bit to cover up on this here. So yesterday, I tossed out the $6 strike, if you remember correctly. That was a little bit of a hint. If you guys were quick enough to get into it first thing in this morning, that thing shot. You could have made quite a substantial amount of money. I was not fast enough to get in on it. In fact, I got in on it after it popped and came back down a little bit. I jumped in on it then. And I'm going to ride it for a couple of days because I do think that we're going to have some volatility swings here coming up pretty quick, which of course we're going to cover a little later in my prediction. So I'm holding currently 10 of these $6 strikes, and we're just going to ride them for a few days, see what happens. I'm not going to hold on to them too long because I don't want Theta to kick in. I don't want Theta to really kick my butt on these. Now, the other thing I wanted to cover, well, before we do that, let's cover this stuff down here. Calls, puts. 90% calls, 10% puts, 36,000 calls, 4,000 puts, grand total of 40,000 options traded. And that brought our IV down a little bit today because we did come down a little bit today to 175. Now remember, IV is gauged between several different things, gamma and delta and the vega all kind of combined together making your IV. And that all goes off the volatility of the overall underlying stock. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, I was not able to get an accurate answer from the person I talked to. They are doing some research for me, and they're going to give me a better answer. However, I ran some different scenarios past them. All of them sound great, but the one that sounds the most likely, and just please take this with a grain of salt because this is 100% speculation until I can get confirmation. So, and I'm sorry if I upset anybody on how I word this. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I'm going to get some hate comments, and that's okay because, I mean, it is what it is. So, if you were to buy these contracts, and this is just one situation, you're not going to exercise these and receive 150. You're going to receive 50 of your meta, and then this is going to be in limbo. Because here's the big situation. The dividend has not been determined yet. And because it has not been determined yet, you cannot exercise something and receive something with no value. And if this dividend thing does wind up turning into a spinoff, then what? What happens at that point? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And I am again going to reiterate, I do not believe that anybody's wrong here. You can buy these contracts. You absolutely can buy and sell these contracts. You can trade them. You can't exercise them without making a phone call, and that bugs the hell out of me. Also, only 2, maybe 3 brokerages in the entire world that I know of are even offering to be able to do this. Okay, and I run 4 different brokerages right now, and only TD gives me this option. Okay, so here's my other thing, and also was told that this makes perfect sense. The vast majority of the preferred shares were held in street name, and we've already determined that street name means the brokerages that were selling the shares because they buy shares and they hold a grouping of shares, right? Those brokerages that were selling those shares off to the retail investors who are buying them up through Robinhood, Webull, Thinkorswim, Trading 212, all of those brokerages, okay? This could be a way for them to unload those synthetic shares that they sold. Remember, right now it's an options contract, so they're basically working things differently. Now, again, 100% speculation. But this could be a way for the brokerages to get out of having to pay those synthetic divvy shares, stating we have dispersed all the shares that were given to us. This may be a way for them to just get out of it, if that makes any sense. Now, again, and I'm going to reiterate this for the last time, speculation, tinfoil hat crap all the way. I don't know any of this to be true. These are just 2 very real possibilities, and the first one being the most real. And again, I reiterate that one being you're only going to receive 50 of the MMAT shares, which means you're paying for 100 if you exercise it. You're getting 50, and you don't know at all if you're going to receive these dividend shares with any value because there is no value. And that's what I've got on that option stuff. And as soon as I have a better answer, I'm going to give it to you, okay? Again, research is being done. This is an unfamiliar territory for a lot of people. Even the brokerages themselves sound a little bit confused when you talk to them, like, okay, so I don't know. Let's push past it. Done with the options chain again today. That means we got to go to the good old intranet. or text. Let's hit refresh, see if anything updates. All right, so basically a level day today. Yeah, they returned some shares, probably the first thing in the morning, no big deal. And remember, when they return shares, it doesn't mean those were shares that were shorted into the market. They could have just had them sitting there in their accounts, and they didn't want to pay the cost to borrow anymore. They didn't want to pay this average, which, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to either. Why pay for something you're not using? No big deal, no sweat. And again, the stock may be changing sentiment anyway, so you might not see a whole lot of heavy shorting happening right now. Or they're just easing back a little bit, waiting for the stock to go up a little bit more. Remember, a short position is taken at all different levels in a stock's life. And if any of these shorts that got in up when this stock was trading at $11 to $20 back at the merger, they're still in good shape. So they're not going to worry about driving the stock down right now. It's still pretty far down for them. And those would be some of those longer held contracts that, we talk about the average days on loan. In fact, average days on loan, 24, So, some of these could still be pretty far out there. Remember, that's an average. That means there could be people still holding from the day the merger began. Other than that, all of this information updates every single day. Well, for the most part, these ones don't. This stuff here is the most live data, showing that the cost to borrow max is 19%, average is 11, almost 12%, and the current cost to borrow being about 4.5% right there. This will update tomorrow as well as this information will too. And of course, if you want that information, follow me on Twitter, StockTwits. I try to update StockTwits, but I do update Twitter every single morning before the market opens. Moving on to Fintel. Fintel, showing a lot of the same information. Days to cover, about 1.36 days. Let's hit refresh. We like the refresh button. So we are number 32 out of this many stocks on the short squeeze score. This is, we are 81.65 out of 100. Now, I actually watched a really, really cool interview this morning with the creator of Fintel. Fintel has a YouTube channel, and if you subscribe to it, you can watch the creator of Fintel go on every now and then. He explains the website, and he does a really good job. And the one that he did today was actually on SPRT. And yes, I will admit, I am a holder of SPRT. I have today become a bag holder of SPRT. I actually went red today. First time I've been red in weeks. So I was in it before the run up to 56, well before the run up to 56. I actually think it's still got a lot more in the tank, even though I know, yes, I know, tomorrow it's no longer SPRT. But I'm interested to see where it goes with this new company being crypto related, I believe. So I don't know. Scroll down here. According to Fintel, at a leading prime brokerage, this is not many, this is a leading prime brokerage, which is okay, because if you think about it, most of these guys are running the same numbers. They're doing the same algorithms. They're going to be close. So it's good to use this as a gauge. 30,000 shares currently available to be borrowed, to be shorted into the market. Doesn't mean they will be shorted. They're just there. Current short to borrow fee rate is 9%. That's pretty close to what we saw over on Ortex. No big deal. And we have nothing yet. Nothing as far as the FINRA data on this one, but let's just go ahead and open up a tab, bring up this guy here. This will give us our FINRA data immediately. Boom, there we go. Okay, FINRA, which is dark pool. We know FINRA is dark pool data. You're looking at 11.5, so-called 11.5 million of the volume today was through the dark pool, which is accounted as half or more of our volume. Go ahead and scroll down here. I'll flip this stuff around. You guys can do your thing. Short volume, right there. This is actually what you'll see eventually over here. And this is kind of why I stopped going to this, because I started reading into some of this stuff and realized that all of this stuff is just in Fintel already. It's all right here for us to look at. It's just Fintel's slow. So, no big deal. And yes, some information was updated for us. Let's come down here. You know how I always talk about stuff's like a month behind all the time? Well, we got our update. Short interest float, 9.57. And FTDs, I don't think that's updated as of yet, but we can flick the button to find out. Short interest, open a new tab. Here we go. No, not yet. We should get that data here in the next few days, though. Usually it's about a week behind. No big deal. Short sale transactions. This is for yesterday, and as we know, but I'll reiterate for anybody who is new, this is for transactions of $5,000 or greater. Nothing under $5,000 will be on this page here. And this is actually just showing you the venues that these things were done in. No big deal. And if we go over to our little chart, I already put it in, as I usually do, 85 transactions. That doesn't look right. For it might be. For a little under $1 million shorted yesterday. And again, only on transactions of $5,000 or more. And in meta news today, we've got on Twitter, this was passed out today. I retweeted it from Sterling because that's who I saw it off of. I didn't get the immediate tweet. 15th edition of Metamaterials 2021 is less than 1 week away. We are proud to be a diamond sponsor. The program this year is outstanding. Thank you. At Andrea Alou, which, that's that guy there. And you can click here, and this takes you over to here. I believe this is right here. So, boom, there you go. This is what we're going to be in. Pretty cool. I think that basically brings us down to the tail end. That means it's prediction time. Made this video go fast. Hey, I'm getting better at this, guys. That or just getting worse. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so here we are back at our chart, 5-minute chart, of course, because this just seems to be the easiest one to toss the prediction off of. And I'm sorry, yesterday I screwed up. I gave you guys my my bear prediction second, and I think we established last week that it seemed to have been working when I give the bear prediction first, so we're going to do that. But before I do that, I just want to go ahead and recap on the fact that we aren't in the channel we want to be in, and we do want to see ourselves get back into that channel. So currently we are sitting below the $5.20 line. We want to get up here. I actually am looking for us to get back above 520 before we open tomorrow. Now, I know I always say take the movement in the pre-market and in the after hours with a grain of salt. However, it's not a big leap. In fact, we're already trading at, right now, 515. So it's only a nickel. I allow a 10-cent variance every time. Always do. So no big deal there. If we can get back to the 520 level or better, first and foremost, let's start bear because that's what we got to do. It's Wednesday, guys. It's Wednesday. I don't foresee us going full bear, but expect that morning dip. Morning dip gonna easily see $5 on a morning dip. If it cracks 5, expect 480 or 476, like Sterling says. That is his mark. It'll always be his mark. I'm gonna hold that mark just for him. 476 is Sterling's point. So if it bounces off the 476 or 480 line, I would immediately expect for it to come right back to 5. Probably jogging between 5 and 510 for a short amount of time, coming up to 520, and then bouncing back down to the 510 to $5 mark, and just consolidating right in here all day long. In fact, almost ending green. I don't see us getting down into this 480 lines, back into the 4s, too long at all. The stock's not comfortable down there, and it's a very big thing with comfort levels and everything else. It actually makes the algorithms change. It makes buyers step in, institutions see it, they step in. It's a deal. They're buying on a discount. Same exact situation as us. If we see it come down to a certain level, we trigger this thought of buy. So the one thing I'm saying is, if we are seeing the sentiment change in the stock, expect for it to tap 480. If it does, expect for buyers to step in because they're buying on a discount. They know it's worth more. It should be in the 520 channel. All right. Now, that is our bear prediction. Sorry, went off a little bit of a tinge, but I wanted to explain why I feel that 480 and below $5 is uncomfortable. If we go bull, we're going to crack out of the gates going 550 immediately. Well, I should say 535 immediately, probably crack right through it to 550. 550 is a strong level for us. We've seen it really quick early on today. Tomorrow being Wednesday, being our big bull day, historically, I see 550 fast. We crack through 550, 565 will be our test, just like it was earlier today. We tested 565 before we cracked through it to 575. 575 was your bounce point, came back down, and basically came down all day after that. I think if we see 575 tomorrow, we've done absolutely fantastic. I'd love to see it consolidate between 565 and 575. Now, of course, if we crack 575 tomorrow, incoming $6. $6 is going to be the biggest level of resistance we see until $7. My personal opinion. This has been already tested several times, and it's not wanting to break through it. I think once we break $6, who knows? I think we can move really quick, $6.25, $6.50, $6.75, $7, very fast through the line. That's just the way I see it. And that's what I've got for you guys today. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do, comment below. Make sure you are commenting for the algorithms. Share my videos, Twitter, StockTwits, Facebook, Telegram, it doesn't matter. Share it everywhere. People need to get this information. They need to know about metamaterials. They need to know about the unicorn in the room. Peace.